Welcome to the program, folks. You're listening to Victor Formation, the college football show. I'm your host, Brandon, along here with my boy Jake. And whoa, do we got a weekend on our hands. Week 7, college football. We got everything from ranked matchups, SEC matchups, Big Ten matchups, group of 5 matchups that possibly could be played for an AP poll rank coming up tonight, actually, as you're listening. Whoa, we got a lot to go over with, so we're gonna jump into this right away. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and y'all better get comfy and grab a drink now. You're not gonna want to get up once you start listening. So be prepared, buckle in, do whatever you gotta do, and enjoy the ride. Jake, how's it going? How you doing? You ready for this? You ready for this monster?
Everything's great. Yeah, we're gonna have a great weekend of football. A lot of relaxing, a lot of watching, and hopefully a lot of screaming and yelling at the TV with some exciting plays going on here.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait. Cannot wait. So after spending all week hearing all the chitter-chatter about the AP poll ranking system, the AP poll top 25, there's the most controversy was about the 1 and 2 spot, Ohio State and Miami, which I have no idea why we're even focused this much on the AP poll anymore. Because what have we talked about for the last couple of years? College football playoff ranking and voting is the most important thing now. AP poll really doesn't mean anything. It's just something there for us to look at early in the season. But we gotta chime in on this. Victor Formation's got to give their input because everyone else is giving their input. So we gotta. So currently, Ohio State sits in the lead. AP poll number 1 with 40 first place votes. Miami is currently in the second place AP poll voting with 21 first place votes. You know, we hear this team should be 1, this team should be 2. Does it really matter this early in the season, Jake?
No, and that was my argument. Me and Brandon talked earlier today. Like, hey, let's get our stuff ready to debate this and who should be 1, who should be 2. And in all honesty, who cares at this point? Who cares? Why is this even an argument? You could rank Miami at 1, you could rank Oregon at 1, you can rank Ohio State at 1. Who cares? They still have to play another 6 games. It's going to be so different down the stretch. And yeah, if they're still battling for 1 and 2, great. At the end of the season, it matters. But does it really? It's not like you get home field advantage in the playoffs if you make it that far. When you meet up 1 versus 2 in the championship, who cares?
And I was thinking about this. I had a long drive, to Kelly's Island back, and I didn't have cruise control. So I thought about cruise control. And I thought about Ohio State. What are they on right now? They're on cruise control. What else should you be doing? You should just be winning. Doesn't matter how. This early in the season, you just need to get your footing. You know, figure out your game plan every week. Figure out your team, build chemistry. That's all you need to do. As with the schedule this early in the season. Later in the season, that's when you can start being fancy and flashy. And Miami's really just come out the gate and had to show that early because of their schedule they've had. They've had Florida, they've had Notre Dame, and Florida State so far. I think those are their 3 toughest games, and then they had another ranked win over USF, who's actually currently still ranked now. But we've seen 2 totally different approaches to the first 7 weeks of this college football season with these 1 and 2 AP poll placements. So honestly, I don't think it matters. I really don't think, and I think that's 100% our take on this is that it really doesn't matter. Who cares? It's literally here for us to just argue about. That's all. That's all it is here for.
And that's all it is. It's something to get clicks. I think obviously Miami's had a much harder schedule, much harder so far.
Yeah.
So if you want to put them at 1, even as a Buckeye fan, yeah, put them at 1. That's fine. I don't need to be 1 right now.
Right.
As long as you hold up the trophy at the end of the year, that's all that matters. So you got to get there. You got to play your games. You got to win your games. End of the story.
Yep. That's it. I mean, as Ohio State fans, we truly we're used to getting the back seat with the AP poll voting most of the time. So throw us that too. It ain't gonna be
I
nothing new to us
Yeah,
or nothing new to
and
Ohio State fans. So
I was actually talking with my family, and my mom's like, "Well, if you're number one, you have a target on your back." You're right, absolutely.
Ohio
But if you're
State,
Ohio State or Miami, you have a target on your back no matter what. So it doesn't
yeah,
matter. Like everyone has that game circled. We want to go beat their ass.
yep,
Plain and simple.
yep. I mean, Ohio State gets everyone's best, whether it's good or not. You know, every team
Yes.
shows up. Every team wants to win that game. So the
Unless you're
same with
Grambling
Miami.
State.
Unless you're Grambling State, yeah. I mean, we probably still. I don't know if we got their best. It's hard to tell with
Well,
that
when
difference
the
of teams.
when the coach comes out and says, well, the bands will be competitive. Yeah, you're probably not gonna throw your best out there.
Right, right, right. And going back to the cruise control thing, who crashes? Who's at fault for 100% of the crash? I shouldn't say 100%. Who's at fault for most of the crashes? The driver. And who's the driver of Miami? Mario Cristobal. I just had to throw that little dig in there. In Miami, we saw him crash the vehicle last year. All he had to do, he could have put that thing in first gear, not even hit the gas pedal, and won that football game against Georgia Tech. And he ended up going backwards on I-75 and crashed pretty much the whole year, because after that
They fell
nobody
apart.
even looked at him again.
All you had to do is knee the ball. But nope,
Yep.
you run the ball, you fumble, and they score. That was
Yep.
crazy. Craziest thing I've ever seen, game management wise.
Speaking of I-75, we got the Battle of I-75 this Saturday. Toledo versus Bowling Green State University. Not one of our 6 games of the week, but we just got to throw it out there for our Northwest Ohio folk.
Yeah, for the
Toledo,
Rocket fans and for the Falcon fans, man.
yeah, Toledo is currently favored by 11 and a half. Toledo, 11 and a half. Over under 47 and a half. 12 o'clock. I thought it was at 5 for a sec. I thought about going to that game, but the wife has other plans and she's the boss, so gotta listen to her. Because that's only like 20 minutes up the road from where I am currently living. So I was just gonna go stop in and see what it's about, but we have other plans to do now. But I'm not too upset about missing it. I'm sure I'll get to one of those games, but yeah, Toledo. Fun fact: Toledo has a statue of a rocket on their campus, and it points directly at the 50-yard line of Bowling Green's field. That's pretty cool.
That is
I was
cool.
on official visit there in high school, and we walked by it, and they're like, "Yeah, that points at the 50-yard line at Bowling Green's football stadium."
I love it.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Good rivalry there for Ohio and for the MAC. But speaking of other non-Power 4 rivalries, not really a rivalry, but speaking of non-Power 4 games this weekend, we have USF, University of South Florida, currently ranked 24th in the AP poll, going to North Texas. North Texas might be a top 5 team in Texas right now. They're 31st in the AP poll rankings, so we have 24 versus 31. Yeah, this is probably the biggest group of 5 matchup we've seen so far this year. North Texas, this thing's bounced all over the place. The spread's gone up and down. USF favored. North Texas back and forth like 3 or 4 times, I think. But 7:30 tonight, as you're listening, North Texas currently favored 1.5. Over under 66.5. This is gonna be a freaking. Defense will be optional. I said last week Michigan versus Wisconsin offense was optional. This game will be defense optional. These teams are going to go at it. I think this is a must-win for both. North Texas could move into the rankings, and South Florida. I mean, you gotta be 11-1 or 10-2 if you want to. Not even 10-2. You have to be 11-1 or undefeated as a group of 5 teams
Yep.
to make the playoffs. I know we get one team no matter what, but if you want to be that team, you gotta be one or none loss team. So big game there. Big game there. That is not one of our 6 games either.
Just a highlight.
Yeah, just a highlight game, just for something. If you don't got plans tomorrow night, yes you do, or tonight I should say, but yeah, yes you do, because that game's going to be fantastic. So let's move into Saturday. Saturday slate. We have 10 games that we're going to hit on. We're going to give you 6 that we think are going to be the best. So starting with the 11 o'clock game, historical Red River Showdown in Dallas, Texas. What's the fun facts here, Jake? What are we looking at for spread and money and all that good stuff? I'm glad to have you back because I'm not very good at that stuff, so I tried to avoid it like the plague.
Glad to be back. This game is actually being played at 3:30.
Oh, they got moved?
Yes.
This will be the first time ever then.
So we're looking at Oklahoma favored by 1.5.
We usually see halftime by when the other games are starting. That's like, oh man.
Yeah, this is a 3:30 start.
3:30.
I would like to point out this is not a Texas home game. This is a neutral site.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know that Texas is in Austin, Texas, this game's played in Dallas, so it is a neutral site, right?
Cotton Bowl.
They're both pretty close.
Cotton Bowl for reference.
Yes. We're looking at the spread here. Oklahoma has 63% of the bets, which probably pretty normal. It's not really going to sway me either way. When the betting first started this summer, when the line opened for this game, Oklahoma was 11.5 point underdog.
Wow.
Obviously, a lot has happened since then.
A lot.
A lot. A lot. You look at Oklahoma's defense, who has been absolutely phenomenal. Their front four is incredible. They're leading the nation in sacks per game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And you look at a pretty boring and struggling offense led by Arch Manning right now. This game's going to be pretty close, in my opinion.
I think so too.
The main highlight / question is if John Mateer is going to play in this football game. There's a chance he plays.
Yeah.
He had surgery on his hand. He's been practicing. They said he was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. It's only been a couple. So,
yeah. Big question here is if John Mateer's returning. Honestly, do you take the chance? You look at this game before the season starts. Both these teams, what did you think? You say one team's 5-0. You say one team's 3-2. Oh, Oklahoma's 3-2.
For sure.
It's
For sure.
opposite. It's opposite. Texas. I mean, then you look at Texas. Who Texas had to play? They had to go to the Horseshoe and play Ohio State. That was 1 versus 3 matchup there. So yeah, okay, I can see Texas losing. And then you look at maybe they had a look-ahead game with Florida. Oh, what do you know? Both those games they lost. And did we see a look-ahead game last week from Texas? I think we did. And honestly, you look into the history of this game, all bets are out the window when it comes to rivalries like this. This is probably a top 5 rivalry in college football. And
top 5 for sure.
Top five for sure, yeah. But all bets are off. Regardless of how these teams performed earlier in the season, it doesn't matter. Like it's like the game basically for the South. You have 2 teams who historically hate each other, fighting every single year, and they're going at it. They don't care if one team's the number 1 team and the other team's 102nd, 136th, I should say. That's what I had them earlier this week. But yeah, big question. If John Mateer can return, you can afford a loss here if you're Oklahoma. You're 5-0. Do you take the chance on hurting John Mateer for the rest of the season? Because if he aggravates that, he's going to be questionable the rest of the season, I'd say. You're not going to want to... It's just going to be a lingering issue the rest of the season, I feel like. Do you let that thing rest, or do you throw him in there and try and get the dub against your rival?
They got cortisone.
True.
They have cortisone. That's all I got to say.
They got stuff we don't know about, Jake.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they get that Tom Brady special sauce back there.
Yeah. What was it? Was it Tua? Oh no, Tua got the surgery. That was like a it was like a concept surgery or something. Who was? I think it might have been Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers or something. They said he was like in so much pain, took a shot. 15 minutes later, he was out in the field again. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think it might have been Tom. It's probably all of them, honestly. It's probably all of them.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I like Texas in this. I think I'm gonna go Texas 1.5. What this is desperation weekend. All this has desperation written all over it. This game and this weekend. It is
If Texas
desperation
loses,
mode for.
they are done. Their whole season is over.
Oh yeah, they're a three-loss team. Who cares who they have left? They'll probably win out, but they're not making the playoffs.
I think Oklahoma's defense is going to give Arch Manning fits. But all I have to say is, you back a Longhorn into a frickin' corner. There's nowhere to go, baby. There is nowhere to go. Give me Texas. Give me Texas money line.
It's desperation mode for a lot of these teams this weekend. It's win or go home. It's go
Yep.
big or go home. So I think Texas is going to come out with this one. And Oklahoma, they can afford a loss. There's what are you 5-1? You got 6 games left. You win out another 5 or all of them. You're still looking at the SEC championship and pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot.
Yep.
I'm not saying Oklahoma should go out there and just willy nilly try to, you know,
No, they're not going to. They're not going to.
no. I'm just saying it's not the end of the world if they lose this game by a touchdown.
Correct. But it is for Texas, and that's why
Yeah.
Texas is going to win this game.
Yep. Yep. Very true. So let's move on. Let's move on to our actual 12 o'clock game here. Number 8 Alabama goes to Missouri, currently ranked number 14. Take us away with the spread here, Jake.
With the spread, we are looking at Mizzou getting 3 points. They have 64% of the bets. So again, not anything that's really going to skew me a whole lot. And these stats I'm getting from CBS. I'm sure DraftKings is going to have a little bit different numbers. They all tend to. But if you look at this, Alabama's getting 90% of the money line, which is a big number for 3, for the spread of 3. If you get to like 7, it's going to be 90%.
That's what we saw with Ohio State versus Washington. It was like 93%, and they were
Yep.
7.5 favorites.
Yep. So, when we really dig into this, it's 2 really good teams. And Alabama's defense is finally starting to, settle in. They had a tough first game, obviously, against Florida State. Had trouble stopping the run. The whole 9 yards that game. They've settled in. They're much calmer. Ty Simpson's looking really good. One of the front runners for the Heisman right now. Alabama's rolling. But then you look at Bo Prabula and Mizzou. He has the second highest completion percentage, only behind Julian Sayin, which Sayin's numbers are crazy, like 85%, which you don't really see.
Right.
I think Mizzou's blueprint to their offense is going to be so similar to Florida State's because Prabula can extend plays just like Castellona is.
Yeah.
Can do the same thing. And we saw it when he was at Penn State. He reminds us a lot of Trace McSorley, basically. And the fits that he gave defenses.
Right.
So Alabama's linebackers are going to be huge in this game. Just like when Ohio State played Washington. If your linebackers can stay with Prabula in this game, they're going to have a very good chance. But if not, they're in trouble. They are in big trouble. I like Mizzou at home. This is one of the biggest games they've played in a long, long time. They had a really good season with Luther Burden a couple years ago. Last year was kind of a disappointment. This is going to be a great game. I have Mizzou +3 in this one.
Yeah. I like it. Missouri hasn't beaten Alabama since 2003. No, 1975. They haven't played Alabama at Mizzou since 2003. I think man, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into this because you look at Missouri, their defense. They're gonna okay. Let's start with Alabama. Alabama's offense. They were last week. I think this game's gonna be totally different than last week when they faced Georgia, because Georgia they haven't had a sack all year. Missouri's the total opposite. They're like number 2 in pressure rate. Ty Simpson's gonna have his work cut out for him definitely with that Missouri defense, defensive line specifically. The only question I have is the strength of record so far with Missouri. It's super low for us being 6 weeks in. Can they back it up? Can they back the stats up? They're like, I think they have like the number 2 defense in the country right now. Plus their pressure rate, plus their run D. Pass D is pretty good. I think they're 20th in pass defense. It's Ty Simpson's gonna have a different look than he had last week against Georgia, and you might think, Georgia's always good on defense. I mean, what's Missouri gonna throw at them that Georgia didn't? I think this year's a lot different. I think Drinkwitz has Missouri in a chokehold right now. I think he really knows that program and has that program locked in. I think the first 3 years he was there, he went like 15-18 or something, and then now he's got them like three winning seasons in a row, 10-win seasons. I mean, he knows his program. He's got to bring the game plan for Alabama Saturday, but Missouri's offense is also a different beast. Ahmad Hardy's like the monster under the bed that you can't do nothing about. You just got to let it come out on its own. And you're like 5'5", 150, and the monster's 8 foot tall, 350. It's something it's going to be hard to stop, no matter who you are, because this guy has the most rushing yards in the country right now, and Alabama's defense hasn't seen anything like that. And on top of that, Alabama's run defense hasn't been anything spectacular this year. So I think Alabama's defense really got to step up come Saturday with Prebula spinning it and Ahmad Hardy on the ground. It's almost like you don't want to let Missouri jump out to a lead here, because they're going to bully you on the ground with Ahmad. He's going to do whatever he wants. He might take off for 6 yards of carry for the rest of the game, and you're screwed. You can't do nothing. They're just going to bleed you dry. So I think DeBoer got to figure it out on the road, and he did last week. Did they play last week or 2 weeks ago? Georgia, Alabama, 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, he did. He brought a game plan for Georgia, and it worked. Even though Alabama's Kirby's kryptonite, I think kudos to DeBoer for locking in and going into Sanford and getting that win. So I think he's got to bring another game plan for Missouri, because Missouri's no joke. They're possibly one of the most underrated teams in the nation, and they're ranked 14th. So, with all that being said, I'm with you, Jake. I like Missouri +3 in this.
I do too.
Let's move on. Let's move on to Big Ten matchup. Number 1, Ohio State goes to Champaign, Illinois, to face number 17, Illinois. What do we got for the spread?
The spread is now 14.5. It started at 16.5 earlier this week. Decent amount of money trickled in on Illinois to start. I mean, 16.5 is a lot of points at Champaign in a ranked matchup. It just is. It's a ton. So it dropped down to 14.5. There's 55% of the bets on Ohio State. Nothing that's going to skew me too hard. Again, it's not anything crazy. Ohio State is receiving 97% of the money line, which in a 14-point spread game, you're going to get that. The odds are minus 637. So that's a ton.
Yeah.
That's a ton. The biggest factor in this game, as everyone knows this at this point with Ohio State, is Ohio State's defense. Illinois had a very hard time scoring against Indiana. and that's because Indiana had the ball the whole time, basically.
Yeah.
Illinois has now gained a little momentum, a little confidence, going to USC, having that huge win. Huge win. I mean, coming from behind, it was just a great game in general. They got their offense going a little bit. Their defense is looking a touch better the past couple of weeks. If you look at their schedule, they played Indiana, got smoked, played USC. They won that game by 2, played Purdue, played a pretty clean game for the most part, let up some points. Their defense is going to let up some points, Illinois. They're just going to. But can their offense produce against a team that's only allowing 5 points a game?
Yeah.
With one of the best secondaries in the league, one of the best, the two best linebackers, at least combination-wise, in the whole league, and a front four that's finally getting their footing and getting some ground, especially in passing situations. I think it's going to be a very, very tall task for Illinois to stay in this ball game, because if it gets ugly early, it could be Indiana. But if they can stick with it, they have a very good chance of covering this, if not scaring the Buckeyes.
Yeah. I mean, Illinois is always one of those teams that gives a powerhouse a scare every year. We saw it with Michigan in 2024. Michigan kicked a field goal with 0 seconds on the clock to win that game. And as much as I hate to say it, I don't think Illinois is a 14 and a half dog. Or
No,
that's a ton. That's a ton for
no.
Illinois.
I'm taking Illinois. Taking Illinois plus 14.5.
Yeah. And Altmaier, he's played out of his mind since Indiana. He's thrown over
He is.
300 yards both games.
Playing great. They're getting their footing.
Yeah. The thing for Ohio State, I think you just gotta keep doing what you're doing. Put it on cruise control.
Keep running the football well. Get the ball to number 4. Let Carnell Tate get open.
Yeah, it's just win. That's all you gotta do. Just win.
The one thing about Ohio State recently is they're sputtering in the red zone, and that's a big thing when you look at a 14-point spread. You need touchdowns, and you need them often.
Yeah.
So I really do like Illinois plus 14.5 here.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on Illinois 14 and a half. Looking at the all-time, Ohio State's won 70 games. Illinois only won 30 in this matchup. 70 to 30. That Illinois has actually won more than I thought. Looking at that all-time. Ohio State 6-game win streak, so they haven't played since 2017.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think that was Barrett, JT Barrett. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So that's how long ago it was.
Yeah, right before Haskins. Let's move on. Let's get to a next one. What do we got? There's so many. What do I pick? Let's go with number 7. Indiana goes into Eugene, Oregon to face the number 3 Oregon Ducks. Oregon, 7.5, right, Jake?
Yes, correct.
Both coming off a bye week. I think this is a huge game for both these teams because the last 6 games each of these teams face really have no strength. So possibly we're looking at one of these teams making the Big Ten championship against Ohio State here, if everything goes according for Ohio State. That is. You look at Indiana's last 6 games. They have Michigan State, UCLA. They go to Maryland, to Penn State, Wisconsin, and Purdue. Oregon last 6. At Rutgers, Wisconsin, bye week. At Iowa, that's a night game. Minnesota, USC, and at Washington for the rivalry game. So both these teams probably favored to win out the rest of the season. So this matchup right here is possibly the biggest matchup for both these teams.
Yes.
Weather will have impact on this game. It's supposed to rain all weekend in Oregon, starting today, as in Friday. So does that change the game plan for either of these teams, do you think?
No,
No.
they both can run the ball. They're gonna have. I mean, Indiana. They don't really attack down the field a whole lot. They do a lot of their RPOs, and that's been a huge thing for them this year, especially against Illinois. They have a good run game. Both teams have a great run game. Illinois or Oregon can definitely spread them a little bit more with the deep ball and intricate wide receiver routes and all that good stuff. They just have, I think, a little bit more playmakers on the outside as a whole. But for the most part, I think their game plans are going to stay similar. You got to win in the trenches here. You have to win in the trenches, and that's why I like Oregon. I think their line on both sides of this field is just better than Indiana, and that's what we saw last year when Indiana played Ohio State, when they played Notre Dame, when they get against teams that are bigger than them. I'm not talking about rankings. I'm not talking about physically bigger than them. They're gonna struggle a little bit. I think they don't have the horses like an Oregon.
Right. I think Oregon's, what is it, offensive line is outweighing Indiana's defensive line like by 50 pounds or something on average.
Yes.
Massive. That's massive. So let's dive into the stats here, if we want to even look at the stats, because both these teams are basically identical in almost every category, besides for the size of the lines. Rushing yards per game, since it's going to be raining. Indiana's 5th in rushing yards per game. Oregon's 12th in rushing yards per game. Like Jake said, both these teams can run the ball. Penalties, basically tied. I think Indiana's averaging 1 single yard less in penalty yards per game. Turnovers, basically tied. Opponent points per game, tied to the decimal. Rush D, Indiana, this is where it could sway a little bit, but Oregon's also had the harder strength of record, so we're going to take into that being a factor. Indiana's 21st in rush defense, Oregon's 50th in rush defense. And I think the difference between that's like 30 or 40 yards per game on the ground for the opponent. Not a whole lot. Average margin of victory, Indiana, 38. They win. They're averaging 38 points above their opponent right now. Oregon's 3rd with 34. So they both win big. Average margin of covering the spread, Indiana 13, Oregon 12. Do we have to continue with these stats? This is basically, these teams are like identical. So if all these stats are this close, how do you even go about predicting this game, Jake? Nobody wants to listen to us talk about stats for this entire matchup. Here's what I know about these two teams. Let me start with Oregon. You have Dane Lanning, very talented head coach, one of the best in the country. You have a very talented offense, very talented defense, talented players all around. Players are bigger, faster, stronger. They weigh more. How good is their game plan going to be for Indiana coming to town? We saw Oregon 2 weeks ago go into the whiteout. Pretty good game plan. They went up by 2 scores. But 2 possessions later, Penn State was right back in it. It's like they didn't even do anything. Dante Moore, Heisman contender. Unfazed in the whiteout. This time the crowd's on his back. The atmosphere's with him this time. So let's talk about Indiana. How did they do what they did against Illinois, Jake? How did
They
do
literally
that?
just controlled the whole entire game from the very start.
Do you think that game plan was like? Do you think Kurt Signetti had a game plan on lock? Do you think he was
He
basically
knew what he
like-
was doing that game.
Basically like winning the lottery. He basically called his shot, called his numbers, and it went exactly how he wanted it to. Hit
Google
6
me.
numbers on the Powerball. I'm glad you brought Notre Dame and Ohio State up last year, because Kurt really didn't have a game plan last year going on the road in the 2 biggest games of the year.
Nope.
They went to Ohio State.
Got boat raced.
Got whopped by 23, I think. And then they faced Notre Dame in the playoffs and lost by double digits as well. That's the only thing that scares me about Indiana on the road. especially in Autzen. That stadium's loud, especially
Stadium's nuts.
Oregon. Especially with Oregon being as good as they are.
Give me Dan Lanning and the Ducks. Minus 7.5. Not even a question.
I want to look at one more stat. So last year.
Don't need it.
2024. Don't need it?
Nope.
Last year, 2024, without losing to the eventual national champions, Indiana had the eighth highest SRS in 2024, which is how much did you overperform against your competition? How well did you overperform in all the games? So you face, if you have the 10th highest strength of record, how well did you perform? Were you winning by 30 every game? Then your SRS differential goes up. This year, they're 10th in SRS. They're overperforming on how all the analysts are seeing them. So basically, we're seeing the same Kurt Signetti team that we saw last year, with them overperforming against the teams that they're supposed to overperform against, and even when they're losing. So I'm going to take Indiana covering 7.5, but Oregon squeaking the win out. I think Indiana's overperforming, and they're 4-1 against the spread right now, or not against the spread, but
Yeah, against the spread.
their record. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense because you're always against the spread, I guess. But,
Correct.
yeah. So Indiana 4-1 against the spread this year. They're going to be 5-1 come Saturday night.
Brandon knows ball right now, so probably go with him.
I don't. I think my win loss is what, 16-14 now.
Mine's not
No.
any prettier. We're not gonna talk about mine.
I started off
We're gonna
hot.
turn this ship around though. I mean, just hey, bear with me here, boys and ladies.
So let's move to our 7:30 slate now. Late games, always the best, right? Unranked Florida goes to College Station to face the number 5th ranked Texas A&M Aggies. Currently Texas A&M leads 4-3 with Texas A&M taking the win last year in 2024. What's the spread here, Jake?
Spread we got A&M minus 7.5.
7.5 still. Very
Yes. Florida holds 55% of the bet. So again, these numbers are pretty much right on. We're not seeing a huge skew in numbers that would really shy me away from going with anybody based on the public. But my question is, why is it only 7.5?
We saw this last week with Florida and Texas. Interesting.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, you don't know what Florida team you're going to get at this point.
You don't.
If Lagway comes out and plays ball like he should, this game's going to be close. If he doesn't, yeah, see you later. They might lose by 30. Elko has it going on there. He does. They look freaking phenomenal.
They do. It's scary.
They've won a lot of good games. I mean, they go to Notre Dame and win. They play Auburn, win. Mississippi State, beat the brakes off of them. Now you got Florida coming in. I don't understand how anyone could really take Florida here. I'm not going to lie. This is probably the riskiest game to bet on because you don't know what Lagway is going to do. He could, poo-poo down his pants and throw 5 picks in a game. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
We have seen it before. I don't think A&M's defense is anything too special, but their offense is phenomenal. And Florida's defense is very good, though.
They've really
Very,
stepped
very
up.
good.
They've really stepped up.
It's the only reason they've won 2 games.
Yeah. Texas A&M. You know how I was just talking about SRS like 3 minutes ago? Currently the number 1 overperforming team in college football right now. Texas A&M. Elko, like Jake said, has it going on. It's only year 2 for him. That's his alumni. He was at Duke. This is his dream job. He better have it going on if he wants to stay here, because we see what happens when you underperform at Texas A&M. You get the boot. They got all the money in the world. They'll boot you if your payout's $80 million. We've seen it before. I think Florida. Here's what I think about Florida's offense right now. It's young still, but this game will be totally different than last week. Texas hasn't been getting as much pressure as they need to this season. Very underwhelming defensive line from Texas. Lagway had a decent amount of time to do what he needed to do. Texas A&M's defensive line is legit. I mean, they get to the quarterback. If it comes down to Florida needing to go to the air in this game, and Texas A&M gets to put it on cruise control, I don't think DJ Lagway has what it takes. I don't think that offense has what it takes to climb back out of the hole. So if Florida wants to stay in this game, they need to go touchdown for touchdown or whatever it is. Defensive stop for defensive stop with Texas A&M here. If not, goodbye. I think this game could get out of control if Texas A&M has the right game plan. Because Florida, I think I see what Vegas is seeing. Florida's in desperation mode, like we said. They're a 2-loss team already. They gotta win. They gotta win out if they want to make the playoffs.
They do.
Back against the wall. What happens when you put a Gator in a corner, Jake?
They start rolling, baby. Give me that Gator roll.
You start rolling. Whatever. I'll put a Gator in a corner. Give me Texas A&M. Give me the Aggies.
Give me Texas A&M minus 7.5.
Yep. Number 15, Michigan at USC. USC currently favored 2.5 still, Jake?
Yes, and they hold 75% of the public bet.
Wow. For the
It's a
money
big
line?
number
Or for the spread?
for the spread. Money line's 52% for Michigan. When you look at these two teams, you look at two very, very good quarterbacks.
That don't make any sense. How does USC have more money on the spread than Michigan does on the money, and Michigan has more on the money line?
Because you're getting better odds. I mean, Michigan's plus 114, so you're going to take that over, a 2.5 point spread at minus 107. I mean, I kind of get it. And to be honest, I don't know why Michigan is not a favorite here. It makes no sense to me at all. When you look at Michigan, they've let up 17, 24, 3, 27, and 10. Their defense is pretty damn good. It's going to be better than anything that South Carolina's faced this year. Way better.
Southern California.
Or, I'm sorry, yeah, USC.
It's the real USC. It's the real
Yes,
one.
the real one. You're right. I mean, USC's only played Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, Michigan State, and then they played Illinois and lost, and they let up 32 points. Or 34 points, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know how Lincoln Riley and that defense goes, though.
Yeah, it's usually a little Swiss cheesy at times. I don't think this game is going to be relatively... It's going to be close, but I think Michigan is going to, do the Python, the whole boa constrictor thing that we got going on for the past 4 years, where they get a lead. Oh, here, Justice Haynes. Here you go, Jordan Marshall. Here you go. Oh, we want to run it again? Oh, you got Bryce Underwood. Yeah, have fun. That's all it's going to be this whole game. And they're going to win by 3 points, 7 points, whatever it's going to be, because USC is not going to be able to stop them, and they're going to play a defense they haven't played all year. You're looking at two great quarterbacks going head-to-head, two pretty damn good coaches going head-to-head. But when you have the guys in the trenches like Michigan does, good luck, USC. Michigan's going to win this game.
I think so.
Without a doubt in my mind. And you know what? I'm putting the lock on this one. Lock it in. Michigan money line. Lock it in. Hit the lock button. There it is. First lock of the year. Boop.
Here's what's here's what scares me for USC, and why I think this game could get ugly, is because Michigan is currently leading the nation in explosive runs. Justice Haynes has can't even count how many 40, 50-yard runs he's had this year.
They run north and south so well.
He doesn't. He only knows how to run north and south. I don't
Yes.
think he knows what east and west even is, because this dude, I mean, he's fourth in rushing yards in the nation. He's probably top 5 in rushing touchdowns. Dude gets one or at least one or two. He's Blake Corum the second out here, but he's gonna have 25 rushing touchdowns by the end of the season.
Yep.
And USC probably giving up. Probably one of the worst teams at giving up explosive plays when it matters. So I can see it right now. You know, Michigan's up by 3. They get a stop with about 3.5 minutes to go. And then USC's in desperation mode trying to play defense. You got 2-minute warning goes off. Very first play, Justice Haynes runs for 30 yards, lays down on the field, game over. I can see it right now. I can see how this game ends. Michigan covers and wins.
Yep.
By 3 or 5 or 5, 6, whatever.
Exactly what's going to happen
Anything
here.
within 7. Yeah.
Exactly what's going to happen.
Go win by touchdown. That's all you got to do. Just win.
Yep.
Last game of the night. Number 10, Georgia, goes to Jordan Hare to face the unranked Auburn Tigers. 7:30. Jake, what's the spread? Still 3.5?
3.5 Georgia. The only reason it's that close because they're playing at Auburn. I don't see that Auburn has any firepower to hang with Georgia. They've scored 17 and 10 points in the last 2 games against the SEC teams. Yeah, Georgia's defense isn't as good as it has been in the past, but they got Kirby Smart.
I think that's exactly why it's close. It's because Georgia's defense isn't what it used to be. We look at the last 2 teams.
But neither is A&M. A&M let up 40 points to Notre Dame.
At least they were getting pressure on the young boy. That's the difference. Auburn's offensive line is currently way underperforming, probably the worst in the Power 4. Then you face Oklahoma, who set a record against you, and you face Texas A&M, who gets a ton of pressure. Georgia hasn't even gotten a sack yet this year against a Power 4 opponent. It's like a week versus week matchup here for Auburn. It's exactly what they want. Jackson Arnold underperforming as well. He might have more time than he's ever had to throw the ball this weekend. That's why I think I'm not saying Auburn's going to score 30, but I think they might keep up with them for 3 quarters. I don't know. I think
Georgia minus 3.5. It's the biggest no-brainer. It's one of the biggest no-brainers of the weekend. It doesn't make any sense. And this whole year hasn't made sense with bets and the spreads, and I've been wrong every time. So here we are. This one makes no sense. You might as well bet it. Georgia minus 3.5. There it is.
So you want
Done.
me to go Auburn? You want me to go Auburn? What's the money? Tell me what the money is again.
What the percentages are?
Yeah.
60% of the public is on Auburn plus 3.5.
So you're going against the public again. How's that worked out for you?
But Georgia also holds 93% of money line at minus 173, which is a large, large, large number.
Yeah, it is. I think that's exactly.
So that can be a little nerve-wracking if you're a Bulldogs fan. But nope, Kirby Smart. Yep. He don't lose these games. He just doesn't do it.
You don't lose them. No mean he doesn't just outright smoke them though.
It's gonna be a 10-point game.
Give me the Tigers. Give me the Tigers 3.5.
Boo! This guy stinks.
I like this matchup a lot. I think it's going to be a lot closer. Auburn what did they do last year? They lost like 7 or 8 games by one score. I thought that was going to be a little different this year. I think I said it a couple weeks ago. Auburn's not going to be that team that loses by one score like they did last year. I think they lose by one score, if not 1 or 2 points, come Saturday against Georgia. Give me the Tigers, 3.5. This is going to be like a 13-15 game. Georgia's going to get a safety or something because Jackson Earl is stinky. They're going to get a safety and miss an extra point.
Don't bring that up. You, oh my Lord.
I had to bring that up. Go ahead, tell them. Tell them what
Yeah,
happened.
I had Auburn plus 6.5 at Oklahoma, and they're down by 5 with the ball on the last freaking play of the game. Arnold decides, oh, it's a good idea to hold the ball in the end zone and let the defensive end just come and tackle me for a safety, so Jake will lose his bet as time expires. That is a wonderful idea. Thank you for doing that to me. I really appreciated it. And thank you for bringing it up. Opening up a wound that just healed, like probably a week ago. And here he is. It opened right back up. Oh, man. Oh, it's fun to make fun of Jake because he can't win a bet right now. And then we're doing it again.
It's good. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. It wasn't a good time seeing you. That was probably one of the worst beats I've seen in a while. Live in front of my face. It was a pretty good
And you and Matt had them.
pretty good one.
You had Oklahoma plus 5.5, so we were all happy. It was a 6-point game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's all right where we need it to be. Oh, let's get sacked in the frickin' end zone, and no one even blocked the defensive end. It was like a free rush, but he's staring at him the whole time. I mean, it wasn't from the blind side. It's not like, oh, I'm going to try to avoid this. I'm just, oh, you're in my face here. Just let me lay down right in front of you. What the hell?
That was the defensive player of the week, or that was Victor Formation's player of the week. The guy who got that sack. Set the record for the school. 2.5 sacks. A couple tackles. Did the deal. And put Jake on the L side of things. Dude had a fantastic day that day. Might be your arch nemesis, that dude.
Is he still talking? I can't tell.
There's a little fly on the wall.
I think there's like a mosquito buzzing. I don't know.
We got some great matchups Saturday, Friday night, to Saturday, all the way to Saturday night. I mean, we tried to fit in as many as we could,
Yeah, buddy.
but there's only so much we can fit into an hour-long episode. I mean, there's even still a couple more. We got South Carolina at LSU, 7:30. LSU favored 9.5.
LSU hasn't barely scored 9 points in a game.
Is Cocktober upon us? I don't think so. Have you seen South Carolina's next 5 games? It is a gauntlet.
Yeah, their season's over. It don't matter.
Yeah, it is. I just want to let the world know what their next 5 games consist of. So we got at LSU. Then we host Oklahoma. And then we host Alabama. Then we go to Ole Miss. Then we go to Texas A&M.
So if you guys were wondering, that's number 11, number 6, number 8, number 4, and number 5 in the nation. Good luck. They'll be lucky if they are alive at the end of the season. I mean,
That's
you
like
know when
a-
people are going to get hurt in that stretch? How hard hitting that? I mean, they might just lay down and throw in the white flag. It's almost impossible. If they do that, that'll be a better stretch than what Ohio State did in the playoffs last year.
Yes, it will.
It will.
And that was the gauntlet. That was probably one of the best 4-game stretches we've ever seen. If South Carolina wins 4 of these 5 games, I'll be amazed.
I would,
2 of them.
if they do that, I will put money on John Mateer for Heisman.
Ooh. Clipping it. Clipping that. That's just the icing on the cake right there. That just made my day, Jake.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Go Cox, baby.
One other big game that we probably want to touch on, just real quick, Arizona State at Utah. Utah is favored by 5.5. That is a very questionable spread. Very, very questionable spread. And you know, Jake usually likes to take those. He does. 5.5 is a lot of points, though, especially from a Utah team that got their butts whooped against Texas Tech at Utah.
Texas Tech's good though. That's their only
Very
loss
good.
of the season.
Very good. But Arizona State's good. Sam Levitt's damn good. Dillingham, damn good.
Levitt's questionable.
I'm still going to go Utah minus 5.5. You got it. I don't like the spread. It makes no sense.
I didn't
Take it.
expect that. That's probably our Vegas. That's our Vegas odds of the week right there. Is Utah
Yes.
5.5.
Yes.
We should start doing that. Vegas odds of the week. What's the craziest odds this weekend? Utah 5.5. Mark
Yes.
it down. I'm gonna agree with Jake there. That's a big one too because both those teams are still in the running for the Big 12 championship. So that's a big Big 12 matchup. A big Big 12 matchup. Well, I think that about does it. I think we got 9 or 10 of them in. Didn't get all 11 like we promised, but there's just too many. There's just too many.
There's a lot. There's a lot of ball knowledge that we had to have, and you know sometimes we just don't know that much ball. You'd like to think we would. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes you fall a little short. Okay, we're sorry to disappoint you. We had you here for a whole hour. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for staying locked in, everybody. We love you all. And I'm glad to be back this week.
Yeah.
It's such a good feeling, man.
Yeah. I'm glad you're back too. It was getting lonely out here in the trenches every week. Glad you're back. So, you heard it. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter. We're on everything. Not everything. We're not on Apple because Apple's weird. You gotta like pay to put your podcast on Apple. I ain't doing that yet. Unless y'all blow this thing up, then we can start talking about putting it on Apple. But that's up to y'all. So go ahead, start liking it, follow
That's
it.
right, baby.
Share it with-
That's right,
share it
baby.
with- Share it with everyone.
Share it. Repost it on your Instagram story. Come on, people. We're all along on a ride. Get us to 100 subscribers. Come on, baby. We're right there. We're right there. We're moving in the right direction.
And you know what we say? We love you if you do, and we don't if you don't. Peace out, everyone.
Peace. Have a great weekend.